Okay, this is Excel project project 22, chapter assessment and application, page 414 in the student handbook. We're going to go ahead and get started with step number 4. We will enter the formula equals B5 plus B6 in cell B7. So let's look for B7 and we enter the formula B5 plus B6 and enter. Okay, we go back to that cell. Notice there it is, the formula B5 plus B6. And then we're going to fill the formula across through cell G7. So we grab the fill handle and fill it all the way across till we reach G7 and let go. Step number 5, in cell B13, we will enter a formula that sums B9 through B12. And the easiest way to do that is to use the sum out of sum formula. When we click this, it will automatically take into account everything above it, and then we can adjust. So remember, we want to insert the formula that sums B9 to B12. That's what we have to remember. So there's, alright, notice it says B9, B12. It's fine, so we hit enter. We go back to it, and then we grab the fill handle and drag it all the way to G13 and let go. Okay, now we go to step number 6. We're going to insert a blank row between the income and the expense section. Alright, so this is the income section and this is the expense section. So to split these two, we'll just select the row and we will right click and select insert. That brings that whole section down, separating the income from the expense section. Okay, next, step number 7, we will review the items in the expense section. You realize that gives row really belongs up on the income. So we're going to insert a new row 6. Let's go to row 6, select it, right click with the mouse still on the number 6 over here, and we will insert. So now we have a new row. So then we will, according to this, drag and drop row 13 to row 6 and then delete the blank row 13. So here's row 13. To drag and drop, remember we have to touch the black line till you see the arrows. We click and drag it up to the empty row number 6, let go, and we go back to row 13, selected by left clicking, right click and click delete. That brings everything back up. Okay, that was all of step 8. Step 9, click cell B8 and review its formulas. So here's cell B8. Notice that it's only adding B5 through B7, and we had just inserted a new one. So we're just going to click auto sum again and watch the number 720 change. Hit enter, and now it's 920 because we just added the gifts. Very good. Alright, in step number 10, in cell B15, we're going to enter a formula that subtracts the expense subtotal from the income subtotal. So let's go to cell B15. Okay, here's cell B15, and we're going to add a formula that subtracts. So equals, okay, and we're going to subtract, we're going to take this number, okay, minus this total. So that's B8 minus B14 and hit enter. Okay, and then we're going to go back to that same cell and drag that formula across all the way to G15, making sure that's what we want to do. Yes, fill the formula across cell G15. Okay, now we're going to add a blank row above surplus. Okay, so we click on the row header, which is the number 15, turns into a black arrow. We click on it so it selects everything. We right click, select insert, and now we have inserted a blank row above the surplus row. Next, we'll apply a different theme to the workbook. Okay, so we just come up over here to the page layout and look at the themes and select anything that we want. Let's just pick clarity. Okay, and then we will go to step 13, format labels as desired and apply accounting format with 0 decimals to all numeric data. So let's, all the labels meaning all the words, not the numbers. So to do that, we have to come back to the home. We have to go to the styles. Okay, and let's pick up this one. I guess this one's fine. Okay, sorry, let's undo that. We have to be inside one of these over here. Okay, I was in a blank cell, so we try that again. We go back to the styles and we pick, let's go ahead and pick 40% accent. Okay, so now to apply that to all of the labels, format the labels as desired, we're going to go ahead and click Format Painter 2 times. Why twice? Because we have a lot of labels to format, so we don't have to hit Format Painter again and again. We'll just click here, let go, and then click these labels, let go, and then click these labels here, let go, and click this one. That takes care of all the labels. To get rid of the Format Painter, we click Escape on the keyboard. Okay, that takes care of step 13, and then we have to apply the accounting format with 0 decimals to the numeric data, still on step 13. So let's select all of the numeric data. Let's go up here to the number group and find accounting, and we want 0 decimal places, so that will be here in the decrease until we see no more decimals. Okay, that takes care of number 13. Step 14, we'll select the ranges B3 and G3. Okay, so here is B3 through G3. Okay. And then B16 and G17. B16, this data. Now, when I click here, I'm going to have to hold the control key and right click and select, drag all the way down. If I had a mouse, it would be easier, but with the pad I have to use 3 fingers, one for the control, because if I didn't do that, notice that if I just click over here, it would deselect this. So once again, practice. First we select this row, and to keep that row selected, we're going to have to hold the control key before I click down here, and then press the regular button and drag all the way across. So now we have both the B row 3 and row 16 selected, and it says here create a column chart based on the data, and the F11 key above on the keyboard will do just that. So when I click F11, it will create a new page with a column chart right there. Then in the instructions, we go to the layout tab, and they want us to take out the legend. The legend is this over here. So to take that legend out, we come over here, click this, and we'll click turn off legend. No more legend, just the chart. And then we come over here to the chart title, and in the instructions, click above chart, and we're going to go ahead and put our name in the word budget surplus, and then hit enter. When I hit enter, it will appear in the box below, right over here. Okay, then we go back to sheet 1 over here, and the next step, see, that was step number 15. Okay, step 16, delete the blank worksheets in the file. There are 2 blank worksheets, sheets 2 and 3. So we come down to the tab, we right click, click delete. We'll do the same thing for sheet 3, right click on the tab and click delete. Okay, we're almost done. Then in step 17 on sheet number 1, which we are in sheet number 1, we will display the formulas. To display the formulas, or two ways to display the formulas. We can either come over here to where it says view. Okay, I'm sorry. No, not the view. Display formulas, page layout. Oh, I'm sorry. In the formula tab, and we click show formulas. And notice over here there's also a shortcut that we learned, and it is holding the control key, and the button right above the tab key gives us something that looks like an accent, and that will also show the formulas. But we'll just go ahead and click this here. And before I do that, I'm going to have to come back over here, select this object here, and erase the instructions. And now I will be asking to look at page 414, or just simply remember that the last and final step is to preview the sheet in the file print and select fit the sheet on one page with the formulas displayed. That's all we have to remember. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, delete it, so that when we display the formulas, this object won't interfere with that. So now we're displaying the formulas. Okay, we're displaying the formulas. And then we come over to the File tab. We go down to the Print. Notice the print preview over here. And then we go down to where it says Page Scaling, and make sure that we select where it says Fit on one page. There we go. So now we can see all of the formulas all on one page as opposed to being on two pages. And then we are ready to print this as well as the other page. Notice that this says print 1 of 1, but that's because I'm over here in the settings, only says print active sheet. But if we click this and we click where it says print entire workbook, notice that is now going to print page 1 and page 2. Page 1 being the new column chart, and page 2 will be printing the actual data showing the formulas only. So if I were to click print here, it will print both of the pages. And it's very important to also note that if I wanted to also print the other data, I could also go back over here, okay, and go back to the formulas, deselect that, go back to the file, print. Notice that in the print preview, when I go to page 2, it'll show me the data without showing the formulas, and I can print that as well. And that concludes the end of Project 22.